Good morning, good morning, good morning, people of the internet. I can still say that it's morning. I actually didn't really have much problem getting up this morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the grass is green, the trees are not. But I think I've managed to fix the problem. I told you guys yesterday that I think that I'd fixed the problem with my code on my server and everything. I think I've got it all ready to go. I've been doing testing on it all morning and it seems to be working, so that's absolutely awesome. I took a little bit of time last night and this morning, re-rendered the 4K footage from the Droid Turbo 2, edited the footage inside of Premiere. I'm rendering it right this very second. I ran a render the first thing this morning on the stuff that pulled out a handbrake, just basically took it in. I had already made cuts to it and everything, re-rendered it, and it looked beautiful. The problem I was having with it last night with the first time through handbrake was that the clips looked really blotchy and gross. I don't know, maybe it's just Premiere handling it weirdly, because I just edited the entire video. It has no B-roll on it, so it's nowhere near done, but I edited the entire video and the whole thing looks terrible in Premiere. But I've got a feeling whenever I pull it out, whenever it's done, it's gonna look really, really nice. I'm hoping. But it says, you know, in this case, it's a, let's say, 6.5 minute clip. It's gonna take around 10 minutes or a little bit under to render. I can definitely handle that. As far as other stuff last night, nope. Didn't get anything else done. The rest of the room is still very much the same. But for today, like I said, I'm gonna be doing day job stuff, getting stuff pushed out, hopefully getting moved on to the next project. And actually, I think I'm gonna take a few minutes. It's almost lunchtime at this point, actually. I'm gonna take a few minutes and try to get the B-roll of the Droid Turbo 2, which basically means setting up the camcorder and then holding the phone in front of it and doing things to it. The new sort of hotness, the new standard on YouTube has been to have this ultra shallow depth of field and to, you know, do pans around the device and to do this. That's just, it's never really been my style. I know that's what you sort of have to do to succeed right now. You try to make it the cinematic look. That's not me. I do have a DSLR. I can do that kind of stuff with it. I can technically do a lot of that stuff with my 4K camcorder because it does have a 1.8 lens on it. So if I have it at its widest, I can manually focus it and I could, you know, use sliders and I can do pan shots. I just don't. Because it doesn't seem, in my opinion, it doesn't add anything to the video. If I were looking for a review of a device and actually looking for it as a review of the device, I would be more interested in seeing the device itself, what it looks like on all the sides, the actual performance of the device, you know, going through pages and installing apps and running apps and the software versions and all those little things, the things that I normally do in my videos. That's the kind of stuff I would want to see if I were watching a review. Don't get me wrong, I love the way people like MKBHD and Kevin do their reviews. They're beautiful. I love that. But when I'm doing it, that's not me. End of story there. All right, we have success. I have to do all the B-roll stuff, but the 4K video from the Droid Turbo 2 has rendered. It looks beautiful. It's 1.8 gigs and it's 30 megabits per second. It was like 55 megabits per second coming out of the phone, which still kind of blows my mind that phones will do that now. But I rendered it down, so I'm not gonna be presenting the original footage. Obviously, I'm gonna be compiling everything together. But still, the footage looks really nice. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it looks as nice as my camcorder, but it's pretty close. I kinda need to do a side-by-side comparison because the audio is obviously not gonna be as good because it's using the actual phone audio for this video. But this is some really, really impressive stuff. Once the video is up, obviously I will let you guys know. If I can work it out, I would love to be able to get this video up today though. The guy from Verizon, my contact over there, has been poking at me every couple of days, and if you do happen to see this, I'm so sorry that it's taken me this long to do this video. Been sick, family stuff, holiday stuff, horrible excuses, but they're all sort of valid. But I'm hoping to finish this up today so I can get this phone out of here tomorrow, and I really hate to see it go, because honestly, this phone is absolutely awesome. I think I said it this way in the review. If I were looking to buy a phone right now and I didn't buy the Nexus 5X because I already did that, if I were looking to buy a full price flagship phone or get one on a contract, the Droid Turbo 2 is one of them I'd be looking at simply because the battery life and actually the camera quality is just that good. Camera quality is not quite up to with the 5X and the 6P, but it is really, really good, especially after watching this 4K video back. Camera software needs some work though. Hey, UPS has showed up. This is a box that I've been waiting for, well, let's put it this way. I checked UPS's site last night and it said, we forgot to put it on the trailer, basically. So instead of bringing it to my home, it sat there in the shipping center for another night. That was the Ring doorbell going off because UPS was driving away. However, this is one of the things I ordered on Black Friday. 2 of the Verizon Moto E, and apparently it comes with a bonus grip shell, grip case thing. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably make a quick video just unboxing it and taking a look at it, and I can't really compare it to the previous one simply because I don't have the previous one anymore. Had to send it off to XDA, but I got 2 of them because 1, they were ridiculously cheap. 2, I actually really loved the Moto E when I was using it, so it'd be kind of nice just to have one as a backup device. And 3, most importantly, the second one is for a giveaway. I might end up giving away the first one. I mean, they literally cost me $10 a piece, so it's not like I'm out a huge amount of money. So I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway with TK, Kevin the Tech Ninja, and Zach Anderson. I think it's going to be starting on Monday. I'll have information about that coming up over on my channel and on all of their channels on Monday. Sort of a pre-holiday giveaway kind of thing. And in other interesting news, I saw a comment from Steve30X who was talking about making sure the RAM was working right and using the XMP quad channel stuff and overclocking and all of those other fun things. So I've spent a little bit of time this morning messing with my system. I did some reading online. I figured out that if I go through the BIOS on this thing, there is an overclocking section in there, but it's really, really limited. So basically I can say, use this multiplier on all the cores, and that's as far as it goes. However, using this Intel tool, I was able to tell it use XMP, so it'll use the quad channel for all of the RAM. Not gonna make a massive difference, but it will hopefully help some. And I can also tell it, instead of going to a maximum of 38, which is what the multiplier was, which would make it max out at 3.8 gigahertz, where it normally maxes out at 3.6 or 3.4, depending on the core. I can now take it up, well, I mean, you can take it up as high as 80 times multiplier, but it ain't gonna happen. But I was just messing around with it, and I think I figured out the sort of limit. I can go as high as 39 times multiplier, and that's just on the core. I haven't tested out the processor cache or anything. I don't know if I want to change the frequency on that or the multiplier. But if I go any higher than 39, if I go to 4 gigahertz, if I go to 40 times multiplier, it blue screens every time. So I'm actually tempted to set it to 38 and just leave it there, because that gives me a bit of a performance improvement on the first 2, and then a significant improvement on the last 4. Anyway, I'm going on entirely too long about this. I've got it set to 39 right now, and I'm gonna try to do some editing and some rendering with it that way. And if it blue screens, I'll take it back to 38. I'm just gonna kind of play around with it a little bit. And what better time than when it's not my 100% main machine. So I went ahead and I'm rendering the Droid Turbo 2 video again, eating 100% utilization at this point. Speed says 3.86 gigahertz. Going back and forth between that and 3.9, which is about where I've got it. So I'll just keep an eye on this. I want to make sure everything's stable. This is kind of my way of stress testing it. And actually, wow, memory is going up. It's at 17 gigs used. Maybe I need to close out of Chrome. Chrome eats a lot of RAM. But no, it says Premiere is using 13 gigs of memory. That's ridiculous. It's what it ought to be doing. That's why I bought as much RAM as I did. But wow, that is massive. I'm kind of curious how long this is going to take to render. It's already at 10%. It says 9 minutes left. So I may be able to render this 7-minute video in 10 minutes. That's a pretty big improvement there. Nice. But for now, time for lunch. All right, pretty productive afternoon. In addition to getting more stuff done for work, I unboxed the TV. I went ahead and got it all set up. I filmed the whole thing using the 4K camera. Filmed it at 4K, meaning that I can show what the 4K TV is seeing in 4K, although I do realize that it's not going to be an excellent transfer in that case. It still will be sort of able to show you the clearness, the clarity, the whatever else. I thought it was worth a shot. It's a whole lot better than doing it at 1080p 60, simply because it's 4K. And I have gone ahead and hooked up the Shield TV to it, so it's running its updates. I haven't had it turned on in a while. It's been in there on the old TV, well, the family TV as it were, the non-4K TV for all of this time. So it just occasionally gets turned on, and I hate to say it, but Christina hates it. She really doesn't like the interface. She doesn't like the way that it works. So I still like it. I like it a lot. And actually, the little bit of time that I've spent going through the menus on it, it looks like the lag, the input lag, may actually be gone. I gotta say, the remote that comes with these is finicky as all get out. It will not stay turned on for whatever reason. It may just be my remote, I don't know. It says the battery in it is good. It said it in the UI that the battery was good, and it was lit up just a second ago. It's not now. It doesn't do anything now. At least I do still have the controllers too. But if all goes well, I'm gonna try to take some time tonight and go ahead and get the Drobo unboxed and start working on it. And if I can, get the Phantom 3 unboxed. It's killing me not unboxing it, because today would have been the perfect day to fly it, but I had so much stuff to do for work. I wanted to go ahead and get done, so I've done the majority of it at this point, and I've got to go get Duncan off the bus here in a minute. Here in 4 minutes to be exact. Just not enough hours in the day. And I have a feeling, after last night, Christina having me get down all the Christmas decorations and everything, I have a feeling we're gonna be making a run to Costco tonight to go ahead and pick up our Christmas tree. By the way, this is the way our living room currently looks. She went ahead and got out all the decorations last night, so Dad and Mom and Duncan and Ginger. Yes, Ginger even has her own little stocking. So we're gonna go get a new tree. We're gonna put it over in this corner, I think. So the recliner is gonna move over in this direction. These doors are not gonna really be opening over the winter, so it'll work out pretty well. But anyway, if all of that does work out, and if we get it done in a short enough amount of time, I've even forgotten, I've got the foot hammock sitting here. I need to go ahead and unbox the foot hammock. Not that that's really gonna be a great video, but it's gonna be a funny one. The foot hammock, if you aren't familiar with it, I think I've already talked about it on here. It's a hammock for your feet. You put it under your desk. That's it. And unfortunately, as a part of the unboxing, you have to take the tape off of the two hooks and leave it sitting for 24 hours, which means the unboxing is gonna take a full day and a half to make. It's gonna be like an unboxing setup, lean back in my chair and be comfy kind of video. And actually I need to go ahead and take some time and finish up my PC video, because now that I've done the upgrades to it and I've been doing some tuning to it, I mentioned earlier that I've been doing some overclocking. Overclocking has worked out pretty well. I think it's time to go ahead and finish the video and just say, this is a great computer, I like it. Not really sure what the purpose of the video is other than just saying, I bought a new computer for editing. Look at my new computer for editing. I don't know. What's the purpose in any of the videos that I make. And by the way, after listening to a bunch of your guys' comments about where I should put the 4K TV long term, it's gonna sit here for right now just because I don't have anything to hook it up to, anything to mount it to, I mean. I'm still really up in the air. It looks like the consensus is it needs to either be right here, so basically it can be sort of flush with the monitor here and just be massive next to it, which would look nice, I think, and it would probably fit in pretty well. The problem with having it there is that it's not going to be hooked up to this system, because this system, the old system, for one, is probably going to end up going somewhere else, wherever the new monitor goes. But two, the old system can only have 4 monitors hooked up to it. Any of them that I have, 4 monitors max. And I have 4 monitors hooked up to it currently, because I have 2 sets of 2 and they're mirrored. So I can sit at this desk and work on these 2 monitors, or I can stand and walk at that desk and use the same 2 setup monitors, the same machine, and it has worked out really well that way so far. But the other suggestion, which I really liked, was to move the bookshelf down here, move the piano down there, just sort of rearrange things, and then hook the TV up right there. And that's another decent option, I think. It would basically give me the TV where I want it in the room and allow me to kind of leave everything else alone. Realistically, I just need to get this bookshelf out of here, but there's no other place in the house where it'll really go. Anyway, I've been rambling for too long. I've got to go get Duncan off the bus. Welcome home. Shiny shirt.
Oh, freckly.
It's not freckly, it's flowery. Did you have a good day at work?
It was alright. I'm tired.
How about you? Good day at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was decent. And it's actually time to do Advent for the day. Turn off the TV. Can't get distracted. Which one are you going to open today?
This one.
This one.
What is that, Duncan?
Is it a book?
It's a book.
Whoa,
What's
it's a
the
book.
title?
The title?
The bookliest book that's ever booked.
It is what?
Frog and Toad all year.
Frog and Toad book.
I have at the library. I have stuffed animals that are Tog and Frode.
Tog and Frode.
Tog and Toad.
Frog and Toad.
Frog and Toad.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with Frog and Toad?
I know them.
Cool.
So now I think you have several stories about Frog and Toad.
And we can read them at bedtime or whenever. The TV started playing on its own. I had Netflix set up in here, and yeah, I was watching 4K content on the Shield. Oh, pretty. But you can see here it does say Ultra HD 4K. Looks like it's working. That's good. I had to upgrade my Netflix account to actually get 4K, which is weird. It's an extra $3 a month, but you can do it on 4 screens at the same time at 4K. All right, now that is a desktop. I know Barnacules is working with like 3 50-inch monitors, but this is one 4K monitor. And so far, it doesn't appear to be terrible. You can't really see that. The mouse is moving around. It doesn't appear to be that bad in terms of speed, input lag, not bad at all. I'm gonna open up Premiere Elements. We're gonna see just how much real estate we've got to work with here. Whew, buddy, that's a lot of space. Let's come in here and open a recent project. There's my Droid Turbo 2 project. That's a big screen. And obviously we're still not working at 4K there, but a lot better than it was. And this frees up my main area to go back to being normal for now. Not sure when I'm actually going to make the change, or maybe I'll just do all of my video editing over here. I don't know. I'm still very much up in the air, but I really just wanted to get things started to move around to see how it looked and see how it felt about it. However, that means I've got this bag full of equipment. This is like photography equipment type stuff, things I bought over the years to assist me, like light bulbs. Actually, it's light bulb boxes at this point. lighting accessories to go along with the soft panels, the soft boxes I've got, teleprompter stuff, teleprompters that I'm actually not using anymore, extra tripod equipment, just a lot of extra equipment. Never hurts to have it, especially when you're traveling. I think the biggest thing that I need in this office is just to organize things better, to have all the things of one type in one place, because it's a mess right now. Well, as I was saying earlier, we are on our way to Costco. I wasn't sure if today we were gonna go or not. I know you'd said something about it yesterday, so gotta go pick out a Christmas tree and get some this, that, and the other, and some dinner. Which, you know, totally healthy stuff.
Oh yeah, on Costco food.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our tree. Yay. Our first real Christmas tree. He's artificial every year in the past.
And if we're lucky, it might even fit inside the vehicle. So you might get to see us riding home with the tree right here.
Maybe. It depends on how tall it is.
Right.
And how much wrapped up it is.
Yeah. I think their trees are 7 foot. And if that's the case, I don't know if it ain't gonna fit in here.
Another reason we do need to look for a truck at some point.
Yeah. Truck would be very convenient, except we've got so many weird specifications if we're gonna buy a truck at some point. Needs to have an extended cab, but needs to have a long bed, but needs to be not so long that it can still fit in the garage, but so on and so forth forever. Sunset, it's pretty.
It's the road.
Watching the road. Wow. It's pretty. Lots of good colors. Time again to Costco. Costco.
Let's go. Tree truck.
Pretty sunset over there.
There's a tree truck.
And there's the tree truck. We can go
the
get our
big truck?
7 to 8 foot Fraser fir Christmas trees. Tasty stuff. Good pizza? Is that good pizza, buddy? Yeah, good stuff. I got the brisket and a hot dog. A hot dog is a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, so may share it. What?
Look at my pizza.
I see your pizza. Yeah, is it good stuff?
Stuff.
Well, my instinct was correct. She liked the hoodie, so she's buying one.
Yep.
Had this really nice UK jacket up there. It was bright blue and everything, but it was like $40. That's a little much for me. Well, I mean, it's not too much for me. It's just for that specific, yeah. A little less I might have gone for it, but, and it was a weird fit for me. Well, we have tree. It's up there. We're driving decently slow to try to get home. And I've strapped it down, just not as well as I would have liked. We've made it home. The tree arrived safely with us, not after us, not before us.
Yes.
And it did make it, so that's good too.
It didn't move, actually.
Yeah.
You actually put it on.
Even though I'm not terribly good at tying things down and securing things, I think I did all right. But now we have to figure out how all of that works. This is the first time we've done a real tree in the house, so I have to figure out how to use this little tree stand that we bought last year. Fairly certain it's just gonna be put this thing on the floor and then put 3 screws into it and then done. Well, I think that's all the damage we can do for tonight. The tree is up in there. A little bit of a minor casualty, if you can see that. Managed to pinch my finger on the tree stand. Unfortunately, we did do it wrong. Whenever you're doing a live tree like that, you're actually supposed to take it ahead of time and cut off a ½ an inch at the bottom. ½ an inch to an inch to a few inches, whatever it is, to make it have a live, fresh cut, so that when you put it in the stand and you put water in there, it can actually absorb the water. I didn't know, so I didn't do that. So it's probably gonna die pretty fast. My dad is coming into town tomorrow though, so I think he's gonna help me pick it up and take it down and actually chop off the bottom of the tree so we can hopefully make it live a little while longer. But for the time being, done. Unfortunately, it's later in the night than I would like it to be. I need to start working on the XDA video, and it's already about the time where I would like to normally have my script finished. So I'm gonna turn this off and start working. Well, that was an absolutely awesome email to get. While we were out earlier, I saw the email, didn't even register. But there's a company called Nanook, and they apparently make really sturdy cases that like alternatives to Pelican cases, basically. And they make them for things like DJI Phantom 3, and there's a new one for the DJI Osmo. And they make them for GoPros, and I think they make them for guns and things like that. And the guy said, you know, we've got this brand new case for the Osmo. We would love to send you one in exchange for a review. That, or take a look at our site and see if there's anything else you're interested in. So I looked out there and I said, you know, either one of the ones for the Phantom 3 or the one for the Osmo would be amazing. Here's my info. Get in touch. I guess we'll see what happens there. For the time being though, continuing to work on my script. I've gotten to a point where I've got all my stories selected. Duncan is finally in bed and hopefully sleeping soon. You are drinking all of the orange juice. Yep.
So hopefully no leg cramps tonight.
Orange juice, lots and lots of potassium, good for keeping the leg cramps down.
Yes, it is. And our tree, it's opened a little bit.
It's more of a tree now and less of a stick.
I mean, it's still pretty tight, but it's probably going to take a couple days before it'll actually open all the way up.
Yeah. And hopefully it survives.
I think it's going to live. I think it's fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
It smells good.
Yeah. And my hands are covered in sap and cuts. So this is an interesting learning experience. I've got Premiere Elements up here on the 4K display. It's running at 4K. I'm editing 1080p 60 footage, and I'm editing the XDA video right now. However, I have discovered an interesting thing. You can actually take effects that you've applied to a clip and you can paste them to another one. This is something This is something you were able to do using Movie Studio, but either I wasn't familiar enough with all the keyboard shortcuts in Movie Studio, maybe I didn't realize they were there. Sorry, I've got a cough drop in. I've got horrible cough this evening, just a tickle. But one way or another, there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts in Premiere Elements that I'm able to use for things like this. So I was able to take that one, bind it to one of the keys on my Shuttle Pro, and now I can copy and paste. So I can take the way that I do transitions on all of my things that pop up on the screen, I can copy that and then paste it to every single other one along the way. That is awesome. It's gonna save me so much time. Now if I can just get through the rest of this edit, I will be good to go. It's just taking me a while. And that is a beautiful thing to see. The video is 4 minutes, 35 seconds. Gonna take just under 5 minutes to render. Actually, it's looking like it's more 4.5 minutes because it's already at 10% and I literally just hit render right before. I am gonna say it again. I'm loving Premiere Elements so far. It may not be 100% where everybody needs to be, but for the things that I use it for, it's actually working really well. I've learned a lot about keyframes just using it tonight. Now, I was familiar with keyframes before. I used them a lot using Kdenlive in the past. Never really had a chance to use them with Movie Studio, just didn't have a reason to. But with this, they've become so handy. And setting default transitions so that if I'm switching back and forth between things on the screen without coming back to me, I can just fade between them. Keystroke for that. Having a default transition set, just cross dissolve between things. In Sony Movie Studio is basically just overlay things and they automatically transition. So it was a little bit easier there, but it's really not that bad here. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Oh, why you gotta be so late? All right, I've taken a little bit of time. I've taken a lot of time, and I've gone ahead and edited the vlog together. I've got it all here. 22 minutes so far. So sorry about that, guys. If you didn't want to see 22 minutes of me rambling about stuff like I'm doing right this second. Nothing else to see here tonight. I'm not gonna get anything else accomplished. It's super late. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for spending the day with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did to let me know that you like the videos this long. Leave the word toast in the comments somewhere if you actually made it to the end of the video. I don't know. But again, thanks for watching and thanks for spending the day with me, and we'll see you again tomorrow if you come back. Bye, guys.